it's Aunt Anna. Happy Father's Day and welcome back to my kitchen. We're on video number 2, so we're still just getting the kinks out. But I wanted to show you that this is my meal for Father's Day. It is ribbon zucchini that has been grilled and with olive oil. I will teach you this one day. And roasted red peppers, potatoes with a little bacon fat and some rosemary and garlic, and prime ribs encrusted in an herb pesto. Very easy. But what I'm going to do today is Puttanesca. It's a pasta that's going to go along with that for dinner. Another very simple 15-minute pasta. And the ingredients can all be on your shelf except your fresh tomatoes. But once again, if you don't have these fresh tomatoes, you can use canned. We're going to start with some fresh herbs, and you need quite a bit of this. So I'm using basil and parsley, and I'm putting it in here. And you know one thing I almost forgot? You can't make puttanesca without garlic. You must have garlic, so you need a couple good cloves of garlic. I don't put onions in my puttanesca, but you can if you like them. I prefer it with just garlic. So we're going to make the base of the puttanesca. And it starts with basil, parsley, and anchovies. Anchovies. Lots of people don't like them, but they bump the flavor up of any sauce. You don't need a lot of them. My family particularly likes them, and it's Father's Day, so I'm using the whole can. But if you make it and you don't like them, only put in 2. Nobody will ever know they're in there. I have served this to so many people that say, I hate anchovies. And I'm thinking, really? And they're eating my puttanesca. So this pasta, according to my Italian nonna, was a pasta people ate when they didn't have much money, because everybody had olives in Italy and anchovies, and over the years it's gotten a little bit more elevated. So anchovies in, garlic in, herbs in, chop on your food processor. You can also hand chop all of this if you want, and begin processing. In order to get it mixed up nice, you need a little olive oil. So sprinkle some in so you get a nice, I'm going to take the lid off to show you the top of it. See how nice that is? And that's going to go in the olive oil on the stove. This is the first thing we're going to put on the stove, in our pan. And once again, because it's Father's Day, I'm using a huge pan. You will not be needing one quite this big at your house. I'm looking for here we go. And I'm going to add these herbs to the frying pan. Not all of them. Save a few because you are going to top your fresh pasta with some fresh tomatoes that you have not processed. I'll show you that part in a minute. So just get them in the frying pan on medium. And keep an eye, once again, we don't want anything burning, right? Not that it hasn't happened to me before, or it won't happen to me again. Next thing in the processor is the olives. The olives are Kalamata olives that I always buy the seedless because I'm lazy and I don't want to take the seeds out. I do have a tool that actually takes the seeds out, but it takes too long. So I just get the ones that are already pitted. You can see them here. And and I like, this is a very briny liquid. It gives the sauce a nice taste, a little vinegary, a little bit of vinegar. I like that. Now I season my olives so that when they get chopped up, this pasta has a little bit of a bite. But if pepper isn't your thing, leave it out, especially crushed red pepper, because it does have a bit of a kick after you serve it. So I use some crushed red pepper. I use some black pepper. Remember, my family really likes it. Some people don't like it at all. You can also leave that out. Salt, very light. Let's go again, like I showed you before, light on the salt, because olives are salty. And we have fresh tomatoes, so we know fresh tomatoes don't have any added salt. So let's start with this. And this is one of my favorite spices, hot shot. Bumps up the flavor of everything. If you make cheese sauce, you put a little in, makes cheese cheesier, just yummy. So we're gonna whiz these up. And we're gonna check on what's going on over here. We don't have a whole lot going on, so it will come up, and our water is coming up to a boil. And I think I'd like this a little more chopped up. You can chop them as fine or not as fine as you like. My family likes them a bit on the more fine. So this is the next thing in the pot. Into the pot. Now you can turn the heat up just a little. Oh my gosh, it smells wonderful. You can smell all those fresh herbs, and you can smell the garlic, and it just smells wonderful. So we're going to go up more towards high because I have a big pan. Remember, I'm spreading the sauce out. Oh, we need this. And the nicest thing about your food processor, I just go from one ingredient to the next. I don't have to wash it out. I'm going to chop next cherry tomatoes. I love these little tiny sweet cherry tomatoes for Puttanesca, but you can use these kind if you have them. And remember, as I said before, you can use crushed, you can use chopped, any kind of tomatoes you have. Oops, let's not forget this. We need to put in the blade. Kind of difficult to put in the blade after you've put the food in. So, add the tomatoes, and I'm going to do them one at a time, just so they don't get all different sizes. And the first one is I'm using, since the pot's dirty already, whisk them up until this size. Or chop them by hand. Whichever way. I know a lot of people do not have a food processor. It is a really handy kitchen tool, though. It's one of those things that you might want to invest in if you're interested in cooking. I mean, it's got so many uses. Onions, many things. You can do pie dough, all kinds of things. You can even do pizza dough. I don't, but you can. Oh, our water is boiling. We're going to go down to medium because I have not salted my water yet. And here's a really good trick. The person that puts the pasta in the water salts the water. So we don't have double salting. And you end up with a pasta that is not edible. Okay, next set. Remember, we're making a lot. We have people coming. It's Father's Day, and everybody likes to take the pasta home. It's excellent reheated. So we'll get to this one, and I'm going to show you something. I'm going to do these the same as the others. Let's see. That's great. Then I'm going to take a clean spoon, and I want about, this is the trick to this. I want about that, maybe that much, fresh. This is not going to get cooked. It's going to go in at the end. And when you put something fresh in something that's cooked, it just gives you a nice little bite. So you taste that fresh tomato and the cooked tomato and all the herbs and all the spices. Wow, we put a lot of herbs. You know, you could go a little less if you want. We'll take a taste of it in just a second because we've put the we put our spices in, remember, with our olives. And we did that because the olives are the saltiest part. Well, the anchovies are a little bit salty too, but we'll get a taste. And we're going to bring this to a boil. And as usual, we've got a big mess. So what's going to go on at the end? The capers and the fresh tomatoes and fresh chopped herbs. That's what we finish with for this pasta. So it takes about, I'm going to drop my pasta because the water is boiling. I'm using Dreamfield pasta today. I use all different kinds, but this is a low glycemic. And since we have some people coming today who this is the only brand that they will eat, I'm just going to stick with that and keep everybody happy. But I forgot, I have to salt the water. Salt the water with this is expensive salt. Use the cheapest salt you can find. And salt it like the ocean. It needs to be salty. It's your only opportunity to flavor the pasta. So it needs to be salty, salty. So that's boiling. Let's taste what's going on with the sauce. That is good. It is got a lot of fresh herbs, but tastes delicious. Has a nice little, perfect on the salt, nice little bite after it goes down, but not too much. People can always add red pepper on it, because not everybody likes it super hot. My family, they need their tongue burnt off. But, so, pasta's going in. Always a good idea to read the directions on the box. It's usually pretty good for how long it takes to cook the pasta. This one says 10 minutes, and it says do not overcook. So we will attempt to not overcook it. So as soon as it comes back to a boil, my niece, who is filming, says a box and a half is what I should make. So I'm going with a box and a half. Yeah, maybe just a tiny more. I never know what to do with the leftover half a box of pasta, but we got it. So, where's our finish it off? These are going to finish it. And as soon as it comes to a boil, it will be 10 minutes from that. So we'll take a couple minutes to let the pasta boil. This pasta's done. And if you don't have one of these pasta pots, it's another nice thing to own. Look how easy this is, and they come in several sizes. I prefer the smaller one than the larger one. Even when I cook a lot of pasta, it always seems to fit. I also like to add my pasta to the sauce, not the opposite way around, because it has time to absorb all these yummy flavors. That's off, that's off. Once you've added the pasta to the sauce, turn the stove off so it doesn't continue to cook. And get it all. This looks like it might be a very runny sauce. It won't. All this delicious pasta is going to absorb all these great juices. The spices, the herbs. And here's my little trick to serving pasta Puttanesca. If you have time, go online and Google pasta Puttanesca. It has quite a history. I only know the story my Nonna told me, and I'm not going to repeat that on here, but if you have time, Google it under Wikipedia. It's been a pasta that's been around a long time, especially for families that didn't have a lot of money. Okay, so we're going to make one bowl of pasta. Since we're not eating till a little later, I'm just going to show you one bowl of pasta, which I'm sure my camera woman will enjoy eating because she's been smelling it and enjoying it. On top, capers, just a few capers. If you don't like them, leave them off. I love capers. They have a little sour bite too. Fresh tomatoes and a little fresh herb. Mix that all up. Those fresh tomatoes are going to elevate it. That fresh herb now will mix with those cooked ones. And there you go. We're going to get a fork and let's see how we do. I use penny pasta, but sometimes I like mini farfalle. You can make this with spaghetti. Very good. I think all fathers today are going to be very happy in this house. Anyway, I'm Aunt Anna. Happy Father's Day.